Well, I talked earlier about board members and working with boards, and I think some of my advice would be in that area. Specifically, I think it's really important to build a one-on-one connection with board members. Get to know them, get to know how they work, what their style is, and what they expect of you professionally in terms of your communication, frequency of communication, depth of communication, etc. What do they want to know before they go into a board meeting that you may be able to prepare them with? I also would say be sure to listen to your board, because they will tell you, sometimes not in words, but they'll indicate what their preferences may be. If you're at a board meeting, you need to watch that board very, very carefully, because they'll give you a read on where they're going and where they want you to be. And the sooner you can pick up on those cues and learn to really meet your board's expectations, the more successful you're going to be.
Well, the system is only as good as the whole, and the whole is only as good as the parts. So I believe that it is our absolute responsibility and imperative that we help. And I think it's important that we don't just wait until somebody asks. We are involved in a lot of dialogues, a lot of meetings, way too many meetings. I read recently that people spend 21% of their time in meetings that they didn't really need to be in. And they could have been doing something very productive. But if you're going to need to sit in a meeting, then if you sit there and you listen to questions that are asked by your colleagues, and you can tell that maybe that person has something a little bit off, it's not quite accurate, or that that person is really asking for help without asking for help, then I think it's incumbent upon the individual to strike up a friendly conversation and not get in their face and say, you need help, you don't understand X, but rather to ask a couple of questions and offer to share and dialogue and assist. It does not do any of us well to have people end up in the press for doing things that may have seemed logical in one way, but contextually weren't appropriate. So I think it's our responsibility.
I think that one of the things you have to understand is that there are always going to be challenges, because there are things that happen in and around the board members just by the very nature of what their job is as a board of trustee. So I want my board to take their job seriously, to take the fiduciary responsibility seriously, because I take very seriously that the people who live around me are the ones who support me and support my institution. And I understand that role, and I understand that sometimes it's a challenge for a board member to try to negotiate through that. I think that if you're a good CEO and you're a good college president who the board members feel they are getting accurate information from and are going to be as helpful as they can be, then I think that relationship becomes more of a trusting relationship. And when a relationship includes trust, it's always a better and stronger relationship.
Well, let's see, the top advice would be to be honest, to work as hard as you can, to understand all of the complexities of your particular district and your board's makeup, your student makeup, your community makeup. That knowledge comes from getting out from behind your desk and meeting people and knowing your students, your community, your staff, your faculty, and your board members. So for me, a leading CEO is developing relationships with people, and the relationships are most valuable if they're based on a measure of trust, and that comes from being as honest as you can be with people.